Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your movie apprentice, and today I am looking at Ticket to Paradise, starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts. And this film follows a divorced couple that travel to Bali, putting their differences aside in order to sabotage the wedding of their daughter to a guy that she only just met. Before I get into my review, if you are new on this channel, consider dropping a like and subscribe to the channel for more video content like this coming all the time. We have a lot of content coming up. But without further ado, let's jump into this. This is the movie that, from what the trailer showed, I expect it to be a charming ride that was heavily marketed on the lead two actors. It wasn't really going to have anything special about it, but it would be a nice, easy watch. And I have to say that for me, Ticket to Paradise is a movie that did more than it had to do. It simply had to have George Clooney and Julia Roberts making snide remarks to each other whilst they try and sabotage this wedding in a comedic way. But the film goes beyond just doing that. While it does do that, it also allows for some genuine moments between the characters. The chemistry between Clooney and Roberts is astounding. Whenever they are arguing or actually having tender moments together, you can fully buy that these two used to be married in this universe. These two really show why they were at one time considered two of the best actors in Hollywood. The film takes moments to have heart. A lot of comedies, I always say the best comedies, have a lot of humor, but have some very serious moments that make you emotionally invest in those characters. And a lot of comedic movies try to do that, but every time they do it, it always seems very forced and stale. But in this, when it comes to those intimate moments, especially a particular scene where George Clooney is talking about what their life was like when they were married and why they broke up in the first place, those were some strong, tender moments, and you can fully buy that there is regret that these relationships have ended. The setting is used to beautiful effect and almost acts as a marketing campaign to get people to visit Bali on a holiday. It is constantly referred to as one of the most beautiful places on earth, and quite frankly, it did give me FOMO for the fact that I wasn't there on these beaches, on these cliffs, seeing these fantastic sunsets, and it's just a very well used setting. Whilst we have Olivia Wilde releasing her new film this week in the UK as well, and do expect a review of that coming shortly, her previous films, Booksmart, have two alumni featuring in this. Kaitlyn Dever and Billy Lord, respectively, appear in this, and Kaitlyn Dever does a good job as the daughter of these two actors. The performance in this is a bit weak at times. Whenever she is bouncing off George Clooney, she is really good in this, but I can't tell that's her being carried by Clooney or not, because whenever she is with her fiance, played by Maxime Bouttier, the chemistry between these two is lacking, and that is a big issue I have with the movie, considering the whole film is supposed to build up to that we're supposed to accept this family and accept this marriage is actually the right idea. The chemistry between these two actors is very bland, and even at the end of the film, you can see this marriage ending quite negatively. The main fiance is quite, I wouldn't say a bland character, but he is very one dimensional. He's just nice guy. Even when he figures out what is going on with the two parents, he is still extremely nice about it. He never rises to confrontation. He never seems to get angry. He's very much just like a lost puppy madly in love with the daughter. And that leaves a lack of spark when it comes to the conflict in this movie. It's very rare that the conflict is actually played out, and the decisions that the two parents make that we know they're going to make do come sort of with less fanfare than you would expect in this sort of movie. I also have to say that Billy Lord's character, Ren, she is just there as the best friend of the daughter, and I feel like her character had a lot more potential than the film offered her. She's just there to do a couple of weird things, similar to a character of Gigi in Booksmart. That's fleshed out upon a bit more in Booksmart. In this, she very much just drops the one-liners, instigates some things, but constantly references a dark past with her family. There are several moments where she refers to the two parents in this as her pseudo family because her real family are terrible people. She's even implied to a friend that she is basically the family she never had because of her previous family. There is a whole subplot that's hinted at with this character, that is never fleshed out. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of a relationship between the two best friends in this, because there's emotional bits towards the end that don't really hit. We don't really get to see much time of these two just being best friends. She's just there to drop one liners most of the time, and that is a plot point that is tragically missed in this film, I believe. I know it's a comedy and we don't really get too serious, but if you can have George Clooney and Julie Roberts bringing their A game to lament why the relationship didn't work out, you could have a couple of scenes of Beelor's character actually letting down the laughing and joking and dark comedy sarcasticness to allow just one scene with her and the best friend talking about the decision to get married, because surely she'd have had something to say about this marriage, but we never get to see that. It's more focused on these two parents that can't stand each other, ripping into each other constantly. That's what really drags the film down for me. Whilst you are going in for the Julie Roberts, George Clooney back and forth, which you get, and it is fantastic, the main relationship in this just doesn't feel natural, and there are some characters that either feel too perfect or too underutilized, which stops this from being the comedy of the year for me, because it is hilarious and there are some genuinely emotional moments in this. So overall for me, Ticket to Paradise is a movie that is heavily marketed on the appearances of George Clooney and Julie Roberts, and it is very much given what is on the tin with a little bit extra spice thrown in there. But even though there's a bit of extra thrown in there to really bump this above what it should have been, there are some elements of the plot and with some of the characters that don't feel natural, and you can't really be enthusiastic about how the film ends because you don't buy into the marriage that this whole film is built around. So overall for me, I'm going to have to say that Ticket to Paradise is a good cup of tea. So Ticket to Paradise, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. If you made it this far into the video, consider dropping a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this coming all the time. But until next time, everybody, my name is Josh. I have been your Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.